How to train your roommate. This is the story of how I use Pavlovian conditioning to train my formerly obnoxious roommate to behave like a responsible adult. So the three of us are nurses, and we all live in this company-provided apartment. Each of us has his own room, which is joined by this common area that doubles as the kitchen and dining area. But the walls are paper thin and don't provide enough soundproofing. So if one were to say have loud conversations in the common area during the late hours of the night, it would resonate through all the rooms adjacent. But if you were in your own room talking to somebody, it wouldn't be heard outside. Basically, any sound that you make on the common room could be heard on all the rooms. Now, this is not a problem during the day, but at night, when everyone is asleep, our one obnoxious roommate always decides to have his Facebook video calls in the common room, using his phone, waking up everyone with his loud conversations. And since we are nurses, we have to work in shifts. Me and the second roommate work on 12-hour day shifts, 8 a.m. to 8 p.m., while the third obnoxious one works on 12-hour night shifts, 8 p.m. to 8 a.m. So the third roommate tends to be awake at night. We get to sleep soundly when our third roommate has work, but every time he doesn't have to go to work, the two of us tend to be disturbed by his late night blabbering on his phone. We tried to handle it the adult way by talking to him about it and suggesting he do his antics in his own room, since while in there, we wouldn't hear his loud conversations and he wouldn't wake us up at night, especially if we have to go to work in the morning. This worked for a while, but he eventually went back to his old habits of waking us up at night. We were getting so tired of the situation because all we wanted after a long 12-hour shift was to be able to sleep soundly, especially if we still have to go to work the next day. Our hallelujah came from an episode of The Office that I had just watched, wherein Jim trained Dwight to crave a breath mint every time he restarted his computer. A light bulb suddenly switched on in my head to use our Wi-Fi to train my noisy roommate. Nobody else knew that I had admin privileges. I just happened to be there when the guys installed it and they gave me the key. I realized that I had access to our Wi-Fi network wirelessly on my phone and could turn it on and off on a whim like a god. My MO was simple. Every time I got woken up by my noisy roommate taking his internet calls in the common room, I would turn off the Wi-Fi of the whole house and wait until he goes back to his room before turning it on again. The training took months and countless late nights. After getting woken up at night by said roommate, I would wait for an opportune time, usually while he's in deep, loud conversation with someone, to turn off the Wi-Fi, then wait for him to get annoyed and curse our service provider before he finally gives up and goes to his room. Cue for me to turn it back on. The loud late night calls in the common room became less and less until he no longer took them in the common room at all. This translated to silent nights for me and the second roommate who had to work in the mornings. My method was so effective that he actually thought there was a problem with his phone. Sometime later, he wanted to show me a video of something on his phone, but said that I had to come to his room for him to show me since there was a problem with it and it wouldn't work on the common room. I was grinning like the devil the whole time.